You've just written your autobiography, really.
I
At
have.
a very young age, I have to
Very
say.
young indeed. I don't know if it's about really an autobiography. It's kind of like a journey of growing up.
Yeah.
And it's like a diary of how, you know, of hormones.
That's what. That's what I
Very
kind
tough age, I think, puberty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we're discovering. I mean,
You're through it
I'm
now.
Yeah,
It's all
just.
behind you now.
I was a late developer.
We're going through it with our little girl.
Oh,
Oh, hormones.
I made that outfit myself.
did you?
I did, yes.
You must have been very clever.
Why did we suddenly show that picture?
I don't know.
Oh, hormones. That's when. Oh, that's
There
when
you
your
go.
hormones.
That was a
were
very
kicking in.
hormonal outfit. It was, look at me, everybody. That would give any father a nervous breakdown, I think. If
That was a good
like
decision,
that.
I thought, to have a look at me as you know, as the single. You know.
The reason why I actually decided, you know, to go with that is because, you know, it addresses the whole thing of image as well. Because I was so conscious of it because the way everybody had, you know, looked at mine, and it made me realise, you know what, it doesn't. The reality is, you know, it's nice to look good, but you know that cliche of what you feel like on the inside.
Yeah.
That's how we should respond to each other as human beings.
That's what that's the impression I got reading the book and reading a lot about you ever since you've gone solo. No, it's kind of you've been doing a lot of soul searching. You're quite a complex person, aren't you?
I think, you know, everybody, you know, should soul search at one time in their life or another. You know, if you have an element of pain or, you know, and something makes you grow and reevaluate who you are. And, you know, there's things that happen in my life, like my father dying, becoming, you know, famous, leaving the Spice Girls, made me really examine and hold on to who I am. I had to do that for my own sanity, because otherwise I would completely lose it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's such an unstable you know, industry to be in. You don't know where you are, so you have to know yourself.
And you said that when you were in the later days with the Spice Girls, you kind of felt as if you'd completely lost control because everything was done for you. I mean, even the little chores, and you kind of felt you were becoming more and more helpless as an individual.
In a way, I mean, it's a bit like that big wheel out there. Do you know what I mean? Once you start pushing something, the momentum is going, and you know, you lose a little bit of control. It's like when you have a little business yourself. You only look, and then suddenly, when the more corporate it becomes, the less personal it becomes. The less it's almost yours, even though you are the director of your company. If you speak to anybody that's got a big company like that.
You seem, reading the book, it seems to me that you've been kind of rushing around, really, most of your sort of, from teenage years onwards, rushing around. And there's a very telling paragraph in there, I can't quote it exactly, but you basically say that you've always felt that you're not going to be here for long, and that you ought to rush around quickly and make your mark, because you might not be here tomorrow.
I think, you know, I've had that real sense of seize the day, especially since my father died. You know, I realised that life can be taken away from you just like that. You know, you've really got to go out there and get the, you know, that chap died, wasn't it, that golfer last night?
Yes.
You know, and that just shows us that, you know, you cannot, the only thing what we have in life is our health, you know, and you've really got to, you know, look after yourself.
But it's a bit more than seize the day with you, I think, because, I mean, it's almost as if you've had some kind of premonition.
I don't know. I really, oh God,
I hope not.
I hope not.
No? Well.
But, you know, I'm very instinctive, and you know, and I've got a lot of energy, and I just think you've got to, you know, the name of my book is If Only, and actually there's two if onlys. You know, we all say, if only I had a, you know, new washing machine or a better husband or a better lover or whatever, then I'd be happy. There's that kind. But then the other if only is, I don't want to be a grandmother and say, do you know what, if only I tried to become a, you know, music artist. If only I tried to, you know, I don't want to get to that point. And the other thing, my father was really always procrastinated. You know, always say, oh, I put up that shelf tomorrow. And he'd never do it. You know, and the actual thing about the book is that he always wanted to write a book. And he only got 3 minutes into it. I've got it on tape. And I think everyone's got a book in them. I really do. Everyone's got a story to tell. So I just thought I never want to, you know...
Well, so all right, so you've made your mark. I mean, you know, you're very famous, and you've got your money, you know, and you seem to have got your head back. You know,
I lost it for a bit for a while.
Yeah. So what do you want to do? I mean, what do you want to become?
Well, I think, you know, I just, for a start, is, you know, try and be happy, and the other thing I really enjoy is writing. I like writing pop music for people. That's what I do. You know, it gives me the greatest satisfaction when somebody in the street comes, you know what, that song you wrote, there's our song now. And that's what it's about. And, you know, I'm performing it, writing it and performing it is the great thing for me. I love pop music. So, and just carry on being creative, you know.
When you left the Spice Girls, and you're still very good friends with George Michael because he helped you enormously,
oh my God,
didn't he?
that man is a star.
Did you know him before the breakup from the Spice Girls? Because you took refuge with him almost immediately.
Well, the thing is, I went up to him as a fan at a charity radio a convention, and flirted with him. And
did you know he was gay at that point?
God, I'm so thick.
The thing is, in every girl's mind, there's always hope. Do you know what I mean? I'll change him. And
did you try?
No, I didn't try, because he just talked about his boyfriend, and I was like,
bit of a giveaway, yeah, bit of a downer.
And the thing is, because he talked about a loss of a parent, I was so drawn to him, because I hadn't had anyone really to talk about it with. Death is such a taboo subject. And so I was really drawn to him instinctively. And I always had his pin up at the back of my diary. And it was really funny finding that, actually, and not long ago. But and then we became telephone buddies, and I really phoned him a lot during the the year before for just support. And we hadn't actually hung out a lot together. But it wasn't until I left, and I was thinking, oh my God, I really needed that. Yeah. There was just, I really needed a sanctuary, and he just came out of the blue. It was just like, he said to come around for a few days, and I just stayed 3 months. Yeah. So be warned if you invite me over.
You'll be in the spare room for
I'll bring my suitcases and my pyjamas.
So where are you living?
But I have to say thank you to you guys, because no, you don't realise that you just gave me so much support. I mean, I watched what you said, and it was just so nice. And because I felt so vulnerable, anybody that said anything, a little bit positive, I was like...
Well, listen, seeing as you made me dress up as you, I mean,
we have that connection.
We have that connection, I have worn her bra.
You're a cellmate.
Yes, that's right, yeah. Bra mate, more like.
Yeah.
That was fun, wasn't it? That was a good day, that.
Yes, you sound like you've almost been through it. I mean, not a nervous breakdown, but like kind of huge self-appraisal.
I think that, it's like anything. Sometimes you have to give yourself a spring clean.
Yeah.
But then we're all ever-changing, It's like the seasons, I think, continue. You're growing, and you go through ups and downs. I think I read somewhere in an interview that Tina Turner said, happiness is something you can't possess. It just comes and goes. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And you just got to go with the good and the bad.
Considering that you are quite introspective, and you write poetry.
You have to be careful not to be too introspective.
Well, you do. Then you disappear, don't you?
I'm a bit like that, yes.
She's a bit like that. In fact, you're very like Hamlet, who's your favourite Shakespeare character.
Thanks very much.
Would you have liked... Well, you are a bit.
To be or not to be.
You know you are. You are very introspective, and you have lots of self-doubt.
There's nothing wrong in that. I'd rather be introspective than not than be
blind
shallow.
yourself, yeah.
But then they say ignorance is bliss, and maybe it's just better to be on that.
Well, what I was going to say to you was, I mean, given you have these literary leanings and everything, and you think about yourself, like, would you like to have gone to university, maybe done an English degree?
Do you know what?
Harnessed your brain to a discipline.
Yeah, I mean, when I was about, I think it was about 19, 20, I actually did go back to college. I realised that I was really missing out, and I went and studied English literature, and I found a love of books. And actually, the other day I was thinking, I do feel that I would love to have learned so much more.
Take 3 years out.
Wow, that'd be scary.
Go to university.
Yeah.
It's lovely to see you, Jerry. You look very, very well.
It's been great to be back on here.
It's great.
It's I love Rich and Judy. I think
we're very fond of you. You're an old friend. Great. Okay, well, the book is Geri Halliwell, If Only. Definitely deserves another plug, that. We never showed any more of the video. We'll set that in later.
The single's out next week.
And you're going to sing it for us, and we're going to show it next week.
That's right.
We're recording it first, and then we'll do it later.
Great.
Right, okay.
Thanks very much.
We'll try and slip a bit of that video in a bit later on.
Okay, great.
Okay, because we were so busy talking.
Well, thank you.
Okay, cheers. Nice to see you. Right, don't forget, we're making all our half-term shows this week for all the families, so we'll be giving you the chance to win tickets for all of you to go to the pop concert of your choice. Might be Jerry. Are you going to go on tour?
I'd love to go on tour.
All right.
I can't wait.
Okay, well, whatever.